Welcome to Jackie's Craft Table. Hi everyone, happy last day of summer. This video is part of a hop called the Last Day of Summer Hop. Some of us involved in this hop are very happy that it's the last day of summer and fall is ahead of us. And then there's people like me who are sad by summer being over. But we are going to all create summertime projects. For my summer-themed card, I'm using a Simon Says stamp set called Hello Sunshine. This was a part of one of their card kits that I did not have the chance to use yet, so I'm taking the opportunity to use this cute set. The images in the stamp set are mostly just geared for stamping. You don't need to color, so there's no coloring involved in this card today, but I am using some beautiful Distress Oxide inks. I'm going to stamp out these sunshine rays with some squeezed lemonade Distress Oxide ink. I'm stamping it onto a piece of Neenah Solar White 110-pound cardstock, and I'm going to stamp it up a few times just to get a nice, thick, and dark image. Well, as dark as I can with yellow. Then I flip my paper and I'm going to stamp again. This is going to be a rectangle background image for my card. This is a really fun stamp set for times when you don't feel like coloring. You just want to stamp out your card and be done with it. I'm going to set this panel aside to dry, but I do cut that out with my paper trimmer off camera. I'm going to use another piece of Neenah Solar White cardstock to stamp out my sentiment. But I'm going to quickly wipe off my stamp first and put that away. I love the bold sentiments in this set. The one I'm using says, "Been there, sun that." I'm just going to put it in the corner because I am going to be cutting this out as well. But I'm going to use 3 different Distress Oxide inks to stamp this out. The first one is Squeezed Lemonade, and I do stamp it out several more times than what I'm showing in this video. I just cut it out for the sake of time. The next one is Wild Honey. And I'm trying to blend these 3 inks so that I get a fun ombre look. I'll dab at the bottom edge just so I don't have a sharp line there. And now for the pink, and I do the same thing. I just ink up the top of the image. Distress Oxides are really fun to ink up because you can really see the ink on your stamp. And here it is all done. I'm also going to stamp out these 2 clouds. I'm using the same 3 inks to stamp these out. It really helps to have a stamp positioner to do this technique because you do need to stamp it out multiple times. These are such solid stamps that they pull up the paper each time, so I have to snug it up in the corner. And now I'm going to start with my picked raspberry. This technique would work with whatever inks you have on hand. I like to use mini ink cubes when I'm doing this, but nobody has the mini ink cubes for the Distress Oxide inks. I don't know if Tim Holtz is planning on coming out with that or if it's even possible with this type of ink. But if you have mini ink cubes, those work the best for this technique. And I'm mostly just doing Wild Honey and picked raspberry for my first cloud. It looks like a hot mess to begin with, but I do stamp it multiple times, more than you see here, and try to smoothen out my lines. And then for the smaller cloud, I'm using some Squeezed Lemonade. And then I come in with a little bit of Wild Honey as well. But I thought these would just be perfect colors for a summer-themed card. They're so bright and pretty. I'm going to fussy cut out all my images off camera. And now to put this card together, I found a piece of pink cardstock in my stash that matched up perfectly with the picked raspberry ink. I'm just going to attach this to my white card base. I have a lot of cardstock scraps that I keep in little folders, and it's always nice to be able to use those up, and that's where I found this piece of pink paper. This piece of blue cardstock comes from the kit the same kit that the stamp came in. I did use a faux stitched die on both of these. And now for the cute sunshine rays. And I'm just adhering everything down flat with my dot liner. The only thing I'm going to pop up is my sentiment. So I know there's a lot of fall time fans out there. Let me know in the comments below if you are looking forward to fall or if you're like me, gonna miss summer horribly. I'm using some little foam pieces behind my sentiment, but before I adhere that, I want to get the placement of my clouds. These clouds really help the sentiment to pop a little bit more off of the yellow sun rays. The last word of my sentiment seems to blend in a little bit too much, at least on camera, but in real life, it pops out pretty good. I'm using some liquid glue to adhere the clouds down. They're smaller pieces, and sometimes I wonder if the dot liner really has enough grip on these smaller pieces, so that's why I like to use liquid glue. Off camera, I stamped another cloud. It just looked better with 3. Really is something to that rule of 3. And now for the sentiment. I'll press that into place once it looks even. The last touch on this card is, of course, some bling. These are from Trinity Stamps. They're called Bubble Bath Flat Back Bead Mix. They're so bright and shiny. I thought they'd be perfect for this card. I'm just going to put 3 of those down. I'm using a cute little jar tray that I created. This is new in my Etsy shop. If you're interested, I'll have the link for you down below. I have lots of shapes and colors available. I really love these Trinity Stamp storage containers for their sequins and their beads. They're so handy. I pulled out my Spectrum Noir clear glitter pen to add a little sparkle to the clouds. This does reactivate the oxide ink, but I didn't mind if mine blended a little bit. And that is all there is to the card. Here is a close-up look. I hope you are enjoying this hop, and happy last day of summer, and I hope you all have a wonderful fall time season. Take care, my crafty friends. I'll be back soon with another video. Bye!